Glad to have you with us here on NFL Daily. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. Coming up on today's show, we have the latest NFL news and rumors. We are talking about DeAndre Hopkins, Julio Jones, and have an injury update on Jimmy Garoppolo. We'll get to all of that and more coming up in just a matter of moments. Before we do, it's never too early to be looking ahead to the Super Bowl. We are just over 100 some odd days away from the NFL season beginning. So I want to know, who will win the Super Bowl this year? Is it the Kansas City Chiefs, Philadelphia Eagles, San Francisco 49ers, Buffalo Bills, or somebody else? What do you think? Who is going to be hoisting the Lombardi Trophy when it's all said and done at the end of next season? Tell me what you think, and we'll get started with today's show. We begin with DeAndre Hopkins, and FanSided has made the case for why the Dallas Cowboys have everything to offer that DeAndre Hopkins wants, and why Dallas would be a perfect fit for D-Hop. Now, we have talked on this program for the last several months about ultimately where DeAndre Hopkins is going to end up, whether a trade happens or the momentum that's been out there within the last week or so about the possibility of him ultimately even being released and the Cardinals not paying his $19 million that he's owed this season that's not guaranteed. With all that in mind, what about Dallas? Well, here's more from DeAndre Hopkins, first off, of what he's looking for, and then we'll show you the case from FanSided of why that could be the match. What I want is a stable management upstairs. I think that's something I haven't really had the past couple of years of my career, coming from Houston and then to Arizona. I've been through 3 or 4 GMs in my career, so a stable management, a quarterback who loves the game, a QB who brings everything on board with him and pushes not just himself but everybody around him, and a great defense. A great defense wins championships. Now, let's hear from FanSided, the case that they make of why Dallas is that team. Dallas checks every box. Say what you will about Jerry Jones, but he runs a buttoned-up front office. Everyone knows their role and receives the utmost respect. Nothing showed this more than when Dallas allowed Chris Vaughn to make the call to his son Deuce Vaughn to inform him the Cowboys were drafting him. We don't have to delve too much into Dak Prescott. His leadership and off-field intangibles are everything you could want in a quarterback. Finally, Dallas's defense isn't great. It's pretty darn good. So, Dallas does make a lot of sense for D-Hop as far as I'm concerned. And the thing that I look at when it comes to the possibility of bringing DeAndre Hopkins to Dallas, kind of big picture, is that there would be no excuses for Dak at that point in time, right? We've heard that Mike McCarthy wants to go to a run-heavy offense in 2023. And then if you were to already add to that arsenal of a receiving core that includes CeeDee Lamb, one of the top receivers in the league, DeAndre Hopkins there as well, and some of the improvements that they've made among the offensive line and other things, you just have no excuses at that point. It would be put up or shut up time for Dak Prescott. I think that DeAndre Hopkins would be a very good fit, that Dallas does align with what he's looking for, but it comes down to what Dak is going to show up. Is Dak going to take that next step as a quarterback, and is his play going to be elevated with DeAndre Hopkins? If so, then watch out. How about them Cowboys? Then they should be a contender in the NFC if they were to do a move like this. Will DeAndre Hopkins play for Dallas next year? This is our pinned comment today. You might get an ad break, if so take advantage. Have it, get your votes in. Tell me what you think. Y for yes, in for no. Will DeAndre Hopkins play for the Cowboys or not? Tell me what you think in the comment section below. Julio Jones, could he be on his way to the Philadelphia Eagles? USA Today, in a new article that came out this morning, said that if the Eagles give Julio Jones a call, then he would love to reunite with A.J. Brown there with that organization there in Philly. Remember, they played together previously in Tennessee. Here's more on what USA Today had to say. If the Philadelphia Eagles gave him a call, he could reunite with former Titans teammate A.J. Brown and give Philadelphia a spectacular depth addition to its receiving group. Jones's health has been a point of concern in recent seasons, but Philadelphia is deep enough
at the position to give the former Atlanta Falcons star the limited snaps he'd need to really make an impact and stay healthy as possible. While the Eagles have a very good receiver room as is, adding Jones is the kind of luxury move a team like this makes to further elevate its Super Bowl potential. I'll share my thoughts. We'll show some numbers for you on Julio Jones in just 1 second. Before we do, got a great deal that we're offering right now at chatsports.com/NFL combo. We have long sleeve and short sleeve shirts, whether it's for that little bit chilly day or a hot day this summer. You're covered either way with this shirt combination. It's on sale now just for a limited time. So here's what I need you to do. If you want to get one of these shirt combos or maybe a couple T-shirts, whatever it is, we have all 32 teams available for you on sale now at chatsports.com/NFL combo. So what are you waiting for? Father's Day around the corner. Still need to look for something for dad, whatever it may be. Get it done and get yours today at chatsports.com/NFL combo, and you'll be glad you did. Now, I think it's very obvious that when you look at the numbers of what Julio Jones has done the last couple of seasons, he's not the player that he once was. But even with that said, Julio Jones, because of the lack thereof performance-wise the last couple of seasons, that means that he's not going to cost you a whole lot, that he is going to be one of the cheaper free agents out there. And so while you may have some hesitation if you're the Philadelphia Eagles or any team for that matter and say, well, what are we getting out of Julio Jones at this point in his career when his play has gone downhill? If you're Philly, you're in a unique situation because you're in win-now mode. And if you don't have to pay him a whole lot, there's really nothing to lose if you sign him. And if an injury happens or if the production's not there, you go to somebody else. To me, this is a situation where if you're Philadelphia and you're trying to capitalize, and we've seen Howie Roseman and company be aggressive and take advantage of that over this last year or so. If you're looking to be aggressive, Julio could be your guy to be aggressive. The numbers from Julio Jones over his career. The future first ballot Hall of Famer has been outstanding with 903 career catches, over 13,000 yards receiving. He could top 14,000 potentially this year. 15 yards per reception and a total of 63 touchdowns in his career. Julio Jones has just been fantastic, to say the least. So, should the Eagles sign Julio Jones? Should they go this route and bring in the future Hall of Fame receiver? What do you think? Should the Eagles do this? If you think they should, type S for sign. If not, type P for pass. Let me know what you think. S for sign, P for pass, if the Eagles should sign Julio Jones or not. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to NFL Daily by Chat Sports. We got you covered with daily NFL videos here on the channel. It's like it's in our name or something here. We also do our live shows during the week. We also have watch parties during the season. This is the channel for you diehard NFL fans. And so if you're looking for more NFL content, we got you covered. Subscribe for free. Turn on notifications so you never miss a moment. We're covering the NFL like no one else is on the internet. Subscribe now. You'll be glad you did. YouTube.com/ChatSportsTV. One final note before we wrap up today's show, an update on Jimmy Garoppolo. As the Raiders are going through OTAs, well, their star quarterback has not been cleared from the foot fracture injury. Remember, this was something that came up as Jimmy G was getting his contract signed of how serious that foot injury was. Well, apparently, this foot injury is serious enough that he's still out, at least for the time being. Here's the latest. Not participating in OTAs this week, recovering from the left foot injury. He had surgery back in March after signing with the Raiders. And the scary part about it, if you're a Raiders fan, is there's really no timetable for his return. The timeline is unknown at this point. So if you're a Raider fan or the Raiders coaching staff, everybody's just kind of playing the waiting game at this point. And the other factor in all this, folks, if you're a Raider fan, I hope you're comfortable with Brian Hoyer or Aiden O'Connell at this point, because twofold here. Not only the current injury that Jimmy Garoppolo has that's keeping him out of OTAs and not knowing when his timetable for a return is, but also the other factor, Jimmy G has been hurt a lot throughout his career. And so there is a decent chance at some point that you're likely to see Hoyer or Aiden O'Connell. So if you're the Raiders, I hope you're comfortable with one of those two backups because more likely than not, we're going to see one of those two guys at some point this year. Who's going to start for the Raiders at quarterback week 1? Does Jimmy G make his return, or do we see Brian Hoyer, or do we see Aiden O'Connell, who's going to wear that number 4, Derek Carr's old number, by the way, or somebody else out there? Let me know who you think starts for the Raiders week 1 when they begin the NFL season. Hit me up on social media, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, at Tyler Jones Live. You can find me there, and I'll see you next time here on NFL Daily. Thanks for joining us.